Here's what it's like to actually shoot video with the Lumix 28 to 200 millimeter. This is the Lumix S5iix to 200 millimeter f4 to f7.1. Not only is it telephoto, it's 0.5 macro with built-in optical image stabilization. The 28 to 200 is a super compact zoom lens, and it's the world's smallest and lightest full-frame zoom lens. It's a 67 millimeter filter thread which matches all of the other S primes as well as the 20 to 60 millimeter. It's dust, splash, and frost resistant. It's also video optimized with minimum focus breathing and smooth exposure changes throughout the focal range. So Lumix did send the 28 to 200 millimeter to me. I'm not required to say anything about it, anything special about it. Thank you, Lumix, for sending it over. I am excited to get it into my workflow. So what is it actually like shooting video with this 28 to 200 millimeter? You know, at first I was a little skeptical just because of the slow aperture speeds, but let me tell you this lens was actually a ton of fun to use. I think the reason it's so fun is the focal range. So you have wide 28 millimeter all the way up to telephoto 200 millimeter. And I know that at that telephoto range, it's a f7.1, it's slow. Normally, you know, if I'm shooting outside like this, I don't really go past f5.6 probably, and then adjust the exposure with the variable ND. But having that wide angle 28 millimeter all the way up to 200 millimeter, I mean, you can get a ton of different shots with this. The autofocus seems to be very fast on it, and I shot pretty much everything handheld, so the IBIS on it was working fantastic. The only bounce really that I got was if I was doing any walking shots. But yes, the aperture speed is very slow. I mean, is it the best lens for video though? With those slow aperture speeds, I think you can get over it for just how fun the lens is to use. So that is the main thing that I absolutely liked about this lens, is just that focal range. 28 millimeter to 200 millimeter. You have a ton of shoot options with it, and it's a little bit further reach than a 24 to 70 millimeter, right? Sometimes a 24 to 70, if that's the only lens that you have, sometimes that's just not enough reach, and you want to just be able to punch in just a little bit more. But having that 200 millimeter on here, the telephoto range is incredible. I also really like that it is a 0.5 macro lens. So if you want to get some, you know, close details off something, you can do that with this lens. You don't have to switch out to a macro lens. So this lens is just so versatile for the L-mount system. I think this might actually be the most versatile lens for the L-mount system. I really like the fact that it's weather sealed, so if I'm out here and it's snowing or raining, I know that I'm going to be protected with this lens right here. I don't have to worry about, you know, the water damaging the lens at all. And where I live, it can get pretty cold, so just having those freeze-proof options in this lens, that really comes in handy where I live. It's getting kind of dark. I mean, I could go on and on of the things that I like about this lens, but one more thing is just the size. The 28 to 200 in this size, almost like it's pretty close to all the S primes. I mean, very close to that 20 to 60 millimeter as well. But just the size of this, yes, it does punch out at the end when you go to that telephoto range. But the overall size of this lens, it's so compact, it's so small, it's so easy to fit in any camera bag. You can take it with you anywhere. A couple things that I don't necessarily like about this lens. One of them is obviously those slow aperture speeds. I mean, to have a lens like this that's a constant aperture, like a f2.8 or even an f4. An f4 constant aperture on this lens would be incredible. I like that it kind of slowly steps up as you go through the focal ranges. It's not like, okay, it's f4, then it's f4.5, then it's like f5.6. It's a kind of a gradual, as you increase the zoom, it's kind of a gradual climb in your aperture. Is it the best for video? Again, I think it's something that you can get over just because of how versatile this lens is. But sometimes you just want a little bit faster speed on your lenses as you go through those focal lengths. So who is this lens for? This lens is definitely for anybody who travels and has like the S5 S5iix, who wants to travel with a compact system and have probably, like I said, the most versatile lens in the whole L-mount system. So if you're doing any traveling, if you're doing any type of wildlife photography or landscapes, this would be the lens for you. It's going. This would also be the perfect lens to match up with the Lumix 14mm to 28mm. It'd be the perfect match for that. So if you already have that super wide angle, get this lens to go with it. It's a perfect pair. You would be fully covered. 14mm all the way up to 200mm, fully covered. That's really all that you would need. And I think that would probably make the perfect travel setup for your S5 II or S5 IIX. This lens is definitely for somebody who needs that autofocus. Now, I don't think that I would take this lens on a commercial shoot or professional shoot just with those slow aperture speeds. I don't know. I have to debate that just a little bit. I have to think about that just a little bit more. Right off the top of my head, I don't think I would take it on a professional shoot. I think I would want those faster aperture speeds, and I would probably go with more of like if I need a telephoto, I'd probably go with more of a 20, I would probably go with more of a 35 to 200 if I needed that telephoto. I don't think I would use this on set, but shoot, just having this in your camera bag, traveling with it, absolutely, I would take it with me. If you want to check this lens out, I have a link in the description. That is an affiliate link, and if you use it to purchase this lens or anything after that, it totally helps support this channel, which I really do appreciate. And if you have any questions about this lens, let me know down in the comments. We can get a conversation started down there. I know there's going to be a lot of good content about this lens. Make sure you check those out as well. But this whole video I shot on the S5 IIX. If you want to see how I set up the S5 IIX for cinematic shooting, make sure you check out this video that's popping up on your screen right here. I go through all my settings. It's super quick. You can copy them all and put them right on your S5 IIX, and then you'll be ready to go for the next time you go out and shoot video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.